Welcome back to another edition of Keys to the Game. In this segment, we're going to be talking about writing your own story. Now, before we get into it, like always, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and comment below and let me know what you guys think of the information that I've been dropping to you guys, man. These are keys to the game. You understand me? Keys to the Game is just a segment of what I've just been through in my entire career of playing basketball, and I just come to just drop these gems. If you guys don't know, if this is your first time listening, my name is Arnold Lewis. I'm a 9-year professional, and I am here to just give you guys a couple of keys to the game, how to be a successful overseas basketball player. And in this segment, as I said, it's all about writing your own story. Now, what do I mean by writing your own story? I mean, this life of overseas basketball is a book, and you get to determine how that goes. Right now, my team is currently inside of the playoffs. We was in the play-in first because we didn't make the top four. Top four make a bye, so we had to do a play-in. We ended up going to game 3, it was the first series of best of 3. We ended up going to game 3 because we lost the first one because we had such struggles on the road. But we ended up winning that one in overtime, crazy as that was. And then a team that we played in the first round, technically the first round or second round. It's so weird how they do it out here in Argentina. But the second round, and we ended up beating this team in the best of 5 series 3-1. What's up, guys? I just dropped my new ebook, 6 must-have steps to be an overseas basketball player. You know, I've been playing for the last 9 years. I got all the steps and the traits that you need to start your journey with networking, with getting a mentor, all the things that you need to start your journey to be a protege. So go get that ebook, click the link in the bio, and make sure you get your steps to being that overseas pro one day. Let's go. You know, we took care of business. They beat us 2 times in a row. Once in the regular season in the first game, but you know how, if you play the game long enough, you understand the rhythm of the game, and you understand, like, you figure something out. And that's what I want to say about this. You're writing your own story because you start to figure out and you say, you know what, I want this to go this way. I want my season, I want these playoffs, these games to start heading in this direction. But it all determines on how you approach the game, how you approach this career, how you approach everything in life before you get there. So this overseas basketball life all determines on how you approach it. What are you doing to help yourself become the best professional you can, have the best career you can? I seen a quote, or I seen a video today recently from Brittany Griner. She cut her dreads. I think this is the first time I seen her with an interview after the whole situation with her in Russia and all that. That is listen, if anybody's in contact with Brittany Griner, please, somebody let me know, because I need to have an interview with her. I need to have an interview with her. Okay, on this podcast, we need to have an interview. We need to have a sit down so she can let you guys hear out of the mouth of an actual player of just the route and the story and the life that can happen once you cross these waters. She literally says, I'm never going back. I'm never going back overseas again to play overseas basketball, because of the situation that happened. And I know another situation of several other players who I won't name that happened the same thing, where they've been jailed. I know a guy who's been jailed for 4-5 years overseas. The story that you write for yourself, it becomes more from just basketball. It becomes more than just, I'm out here playing. It's so much more to that. And it was so interesting to me how she was just like, I'm done. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Like, even though we're in the playoffs right now and we're going to the next round, there was moments in this series or in this season that I did not want to be here, that I was going to leave. And I had to make a decision. What story do I want to paint for myself and for my career? Am I just going to jump ship? Am I going to end it all right here and then find another situation? It all depends on you. Every step that you take depends on you. Your story of how your career goes depends on you. The same thing with your life. And I feel like that's important that we don't take that approach as pros coming in. We don't have no plan for how we want this to go. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. For me, I know the story that I want out of my life. I want to win 20 championships. Absurd as people believe it is, that's my story that I'm trying to write. And as of right now, we're going into the second round, and I'm headed towards another, headed towards getting another championship. Every day I'm waking up, I'm just thinking about holding that trophy. I'm thinking about celebrating with my teammates. I'm thinking about celebrating with my coach. I'm already writing that story in my mind, and so it can become clear. It become crystal clear to me in my mind, and I'm just starting to see it. And I'm writing it out in my mind. I'm creating the story that I want for my life, for my season, for my career. Because I'll give you a little tip. At the end of this, there is no farewell tour. There is no, hey, you played 12, 15 years, let's give you a kumbaya and everybody a standing ovation. Once you're done, you're done. I had a guy just hit me up recently because he ran across my page. I played against this guy 8 years ago, and he was like, man, I miss playing overseas basketball. I wanted to talk. Maybe I could probably get him on an episode later on. We just didn't get connected with time. But he was just talking about it, and you just have to understand that the way this life goes of overseas basketball is so fast. So one, you have to enjoy it while it lasts. Two, take every opportunity that you can to not only advance your life, but advance your career and then get the most out of it. And the third, make sure you handle your situations off the court as well. Because if I would have let my situations off the court affect me so much, I wouldn't have been in this position right now on the hunt for championship number 8 in 9 years. And that's a great story. Like for me personally, I hope you guys don't take this, but I am on a hunt. I'm literally on the hunt to write my story, to create one of the greatest stories for me. How great can you make your story? And that's the mindset you must have. How great can I make my story be? If you take that mindset when approaching this game, how great can my story be? That is totally dependent on you. That is totally dependent on how you approach the game. That depends on how you study. That depends on your agents that you search for. That depends on the nonsense that you deal with throughout the season that you're going to be willing to put up with. That depends on so many circumstances that you have to take down time to develop. That takes visualization. That takes time to form. Are you actively writing the story out in your mind, putting it down on paper, making it real? Write it down, make it real. Write it down, make it real. What are you doing to write your story? And how good is it? I want a New York Times bestseller. That's just me. I want a New York Times bestseller. That's what I want my story to be. Because you're so easily forgotten. So, if you know the amount of players that come in and out that don't even mean nothing, that you might see them playing 1 year and then you don't never see them again. God, like I said, I ain't heard from this dude 8 years. But he happened to find my page and reached out, and I remembered him. How easily are you forgotten? I wouldn't ask him what was his story. That's what you have to ask yourself. What is the story that I'm writing for myself that I want out of this game of overseas basketball? How are you going to write your story? How great is your story going to be? how great. And now I'm thinking about everything that I've done to even get to this point. I'm talking about the early morning runs, 3 miles, 2 miles in freezing cold, getting up, working out, 5 a.m. wake ups, extra weights, all the things that led me to this point right now, dealing with family situations, dealing with just everything that could possibly, going through 4 imports in one season, being the only one here. Now we're in the semis. It is a long journey, but it makes the story so much sweeter. What are you doing to write your story? What are you doing to make this story the greatest story that you have ever written in your life? With your work ethic, with your grind, with your accomplishments. You have to get to a point where you're creating something for yourself, a body of work, a story that you yourself could be proud of. At the end of the day, you have to look at yourself and say, am I proud of the work that I've done for myself to get to where I want to go in life? You have to understand that. You have to make that real for yourself. No one's going to write your story for you. What's the story you're writing for yourself? That's all I got for you guys for this episode of Keys to the Game. Write your story. Make it the best story you've ever written in your life because it's your own. Because once this game is over with, it's over with. It's gone. Make sure you guys leave me a like and comment. Make sure you guys leave me a rating on all platforms. Let me know anything you guys want to know when it comes to these keys I can help you out with. Drop them down in the comments. I'll make sure to check them out and give you my take on it. That's all I got for you guys. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.